Hello everybody out there in Rider Nation. How's everybody doing on YouTube today? She's game day for the Riders today against the Toronto Argonauts. The last game at Mosaic Stadium this season, I'm afraid. And the playoffs look like a no hope situation. Watched that game last night between Calgary and BC, and I was just disgusted again. I don't know about the CFL. So many things made me mad in that game, it's unreal. I guess the one that really stood out was when they got roughing the passer on Mayer. Two guys hit him, both never hit him in the face or in the helmet. Rocked his head back and forth because there's two guys hit him and they get roughing the passer. Refs have to follow the rule book. And according to the rule book, that's not a pass, roughing the passer. And then, of course, that play, that instead of turning the ball over and have to punt, they go down to score. BC, they just kicked themselves in the head all game. They actually get something going and they put in short yardage for Davis at the goal line, and he fumbles the ball. And Adams looked terrible. BC is so beatable with Adams on some games. He's either so hot you can't stop him, or he's pathetic. He can run the ball, that's what saves him, but he can throw the ball to absolutely nobody, and he did. They yanked him, but they said they yanked him because he was feeling good and had I don't know, his coach said halftime there he was feeling it and wanted to leave him on a high. To me, that was a pathetic performance by Adams in the first half. And as far as Mayer, Calgary's not going anywhere with Mayer. He has to have an outstanding game for them to have a chance. He's another guy that just can't run. When he did break it out a couple times, he looked terrible. Like when a quarterback has a chance to run, he's just got to tuck it and go. He just, to me, doesn't look like he's got that ability. And in the CFL, when things are on the line and you need those yards, you have to have a quarterback that can tuck it down and take off. And for us, this game, it'd be nice to go out on a high and beat Toronto. But Toronto, Dimwitty's really not looking like he's going to rest many guys. He's even brought back some of their starters. I think Peters out on the corner. He's one of their leading pickoff guys. They brought their middle linebacker back. I think they're resting one of their defensive ends, or he's not feeling right or whatever. He's a leader on the line, but they're resting him. But they got Olette back, and they'll probably run him. We'll see, I guess. They say they're going to start Kelly, but they haven't started him on the away games. He played on the home games, which that's great to let the fans see their up and coming quarterback. He's you got what I'm talking about. Watch him. He knows how to run the ball if he has to. I'm not sure he'll do it in this game. I'm sure he's been told to if you haven't got a chance, slide or throw it away. It's no use gambling your health on a nothing game for the Toronto Argonauts. For the Riders, much the same on offense. They haven't changed many players in or out. Dalagala's getting the start, which is, if you watched my last video, yeah, Dalagala has just not gone moved forward as far as I'm concerned. He's just stayed the same or gone a little bit south, especially last game. You know, throwing that pick to Judge and his movement. He doesn't have that pull the ball down and take off. You know, he gives up so many sacks, not even trying to get away. He just turtles it down, which of course just doesn't do it for me, especially at the end of the game when he's third down and still takes a sack. That point of the game, you've got to release the ball. Ryder, come on. Ryder! No, that point of the game, you got to release the ball for sure. I just hope he can improve, but you know, people say you got to develop a quarterback. You know, he's had quite a few years as pro already, you know, and he was with 2 NFL teams, I'm pretty sure. They took a look at him, and I can really see why they didn't keep him. You either have that gift of moving around in the pocket and running, or you don't. Our highlight was Morrow. He's back in there. They're gonna have to run him lots this game, and I hope Emilus and Baines get their 1,000 yards, which would be a nice accomplishment for the year, some positive for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Our defense stood up pretty good last game, and that's what kept us in. That's the same as BC last night. They had absolutely no offense and gave the ball away deep in their end a couple times and left the defense hanging. I don't think they played their best game, but that's usually BC's high point, is they've got a pretty steady defense there, good at rushing the quarterback without bets. But as far as the game tomorrow, our defense, the one guy I'm looking to watch is I think he's number 98, Thomas. They're putting him in the lineup out there at defensive end position, backing up Robertson or whoever on the other side, and Cox Jr.'s back in there. Hopefully he's backed into playing shape. He's one guy I wouldn't mind them bringing back. He was just starting to come on for us this year and got injured and just back here for the last couple games. But I liked him in camp and didn't really get to see a lot of him after. See how he plays. And of course no Moncrief again. And they got Brunson there. They got him as the starter at middle linebacker in front of Dean. I like that move too. And a lot of people like Larry Dean, but to me he's one step short. He's one step too slow this year. He's making lots of tackles, but you're making tackles 8-10 yards downfield, it really doesn't help you much. Puts him in a good position the next down, and he'd be blitzing and run right by a guy that gets a handoff. And so many times I've seen bad plays out of him, and that's the same thing with Tats. He's too slow to cover any kind of speedy receivers out of the backfield, and I'm sure Allen will get a lot of playing time there. You have to keep a guy like Tetso Canadian, and you need that ratio. He's a ratio guy on defense, so I'd like to see him step up. He was so good there the year before, and then he took a year off from being hurt, basically. Well, I really liked him. That was one of my prize signings. I thought getting Tets back, it sort of said maybe we got another Judge, but I'm afraid not. And it's good to see Brett Lawther back. He's a good field goal kicker. Ozzy that came in did a pretty damn good job for him though, but Lawther, he'll be back next season. As you can tell, I'm pretty down on the team, but that's the way it is when you got a team with so many wins. Kind of gets depressing after a while. So depressing, I was offered free tickets to go to this game today, but I had already made some previous plans, so it became too late for me to really consider going. But it still would have been a big decision whether I wanted to go down there and watch another performance like they've been putting on, which is the big problem. You know, people don't mind going to a game and being on a losing side of the scoreboard, but in the end you still want a team that looks like they're competing. And when you're throwing your hands up in the air every fourth play on what the hell was that, or what are they doing, or why is he calling that, you get pissed off and you've had enough. Yeah, I don't blame fans. I'm sure a lot of them are feeling the same way I am. I just hope we don't fall into a big slump of fans giving up on the team and not wanting to even show up or buy a season ticket, because that can really put you in a big bind. And as far as Dickinson, every one of his press interviews lately in the last 5, I'd say each one you might as well put a sign behind him, dead man walking. I don't know how far the cuts are going to go this year. I don't know if O'Day will go or they'll want Reynolds to go. Those are big decisions, and a major rebuild would be involved. So I know Dickinson's pretty well toast, no doubt about it. I would have really considered not even letting them stay this season, but they had one more year, and that seems to be the Rider way. You know, they don't like taking chances. They save that money because it's one more year in the contract. As far as the rest of the coaches, if Dickinson goes, they're pretty well all looking for a job too. They'll have to reapply with the next head coach, whether they want to keep him around here. It's a sad situation, but it's just the way it is, and we're gonna have to go with it. It might be a long road back, or then again, if you can get the right guy and get the right players up here, you can turn things around really quick. Like the Argonauts, they always seem to have different players come in, and they're nobodies that you really don't know about. And like, for example, is Kelly. You know, he comes in and wins the Grey Cup at the end last year for them with his legs. Like I said, he won it with his legs. They were second and long, or even, I think it was second and long, and needed more than 15, and he ran for it. kept them on the ball. I said that you need that in the CFL big time. You need a quarterback that can run and keep the play alive and be accurate on the run. And if you watch my video last one about Jake, that's one of his downfalls. He seems to wrong foot himself, and he's just like he's not wearing the right size shoes. Well, I'd still like to see a win. I'll be tuning in tonight, that's for damn sure. Hope we get a good game out of our squad. And these kind of games I really like watching, because you see who really wants a job for next season and who's out there just coasting and knows that they don't really want to come back, and know their chances of coming back are not very good. You'll see them right out there right away. It's pretty obvious. This video's gone on long enough. Again, I'd like to thank all my subscribers that tune in every week. It really makes me feel good, and love everybody that pushes that subscribe button and puts likes and comments. Dislike it if you want to. I can understand a lot of people not agreeing with what the hell I say, that's for sure. It's just I'm just a Rough Rider fan that's in love with my team, and wish they could do better this year. It's been 2 bad years of play this year. Really gets you down when there's so many, you don't get very many wins to cheer about. Lucky I was down there for that one against Edmonton, which was a miracle win. You know, if you look at our wins, some of them are pretty damn lucky, and we're lucky to even have the wins we got. Yeah, anyway, thanks again everybody, and comment down below and let me know who the hell you think we should keep after the season's over. Here I'll be putting a video out of, like I did last season, of who I'd keep and who I'd send packing home. Oh, before I end the video, talking about another thing about Dickinson. You know, like BC's coach, they got a bye week. Are they sending them home? No. You know, they're gonna work on this and that on the off week. Like Dickinson all season is, we'll send them home and let them think about it. You know, I think it's just players don't want to hang around Regina. Like, which would you rather, hang around Regina or hang around BC? I don't know. I know myself, if my team not doing worth a goddamn, I'd sure the hell make my players come into practice and try to learn a little bit more discipline or whatever you have to work on, instead of sending them home and watching film. It's just the way I do it. But Dickinson, ever since he took over the team, to me, it started way back in training camp. To me, the camps were so mellow, and especially on like when they're putting the pads on for the day for a practice. I really like to see bloody pads crashing out there and some pushing and shoving, you know, instead of the way it looked out there. Anyway, after all that, I'll let you all go and tune in after the game, and I hope it's a good positive game for the Riders. Go out on a high note. I can't really see them making the playoffs, even with Calgary playing Winnipeg in the last game. One thing though, O'Shea, he's another guy that doesn't believe in resting too many guys. He said you learn every game. There's a way of playing out there so you can reduce the risk of injuries. So I expect them to start a lot of their players, but not take any big chances of getting themselves hurt. So Calgary will probably have a pretty good chance of beating Winnipeg, but we still have to win this game, and that's not an easy task right now for the Riders. Anyway, till next time, go Riders, go, and let's make this last game a win.